Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. Oh my gosh, it's afternoon. I like coffee and maybe three people. Do you like that? I got that for my birthday from my hubby. How is everyone? Hope you're having a great day. Is everyone getting back in the swing of things after the very long holiday break? I know I am currently trying to work off the holiday bloat. So if you are feeling the holiday bloat still, raise your hands. Me. Okay, so we talk a lot about a lot of different topics on this channel. One of your favorites on this channel, all of my subscribers love, is some good Gosselin discussions. And we have been following a lot of talks about Jon Gosselin because he's been spilling all kinds of tea all over the place for the past, I don't know, few months. It all started in September with a bombshell of an interview with the Daily Mail where Jon admitted that TLC had placed a gag order on him and didn't allow him to speak for 10 years along between him after his lawsuit where it was breach of contract. Additionally, the gag order was also part with Kate. So he was unable to say a lot of things, and unfortunately because of that, his reputation was dragged everywhere by everyone. He was the bad guy. He was the cheater. He was stealing money. He was doing everything, right? Meanwhile, Kate continued on like everything was hunky-dory, and she just kept going without a hitch, and she continued to have her children on the show. And Jon and Kate plus 8 suddenly became Kate plus 8, and it was just like nothing happened. The series continued on for several years, and it was let go. Then they let go of it. Then they came back, and it's had a lot of different reiterations. The most recent one was this past September when TLC aired a special where Kate took her kids, older twins, Kara and Maddie, on a trip to visit college campuses as they were in high school, senior year, getting ready to leave for school. And it was during this filming that Jon actually ended up filing a motion in court because why? Because Kate actually never obtained proper work permits for the kids. So the state actually denied work permits for her based on some information provided to them by their guardian ad litem that is sort of the mediator between her and him in the custody case. And they stated that it was not in the children's best interests anymore to film. As a result, they would not issue the work permits. But instead of saying, oh, we're not going to do the special, Kate continued on and did the special, and then the special aired. And then after the special aired, Jon was furious, and he went public with all of the documents, basically stating that she was like defying a judge's order by doing this, called out the network for allowing his children to be filmed without the proper permits, and basically insinuating that they didn't care because as long as they could pay the fine, it didn't matter to them if the kids had work permits. But naturally, Jon was outraged because there was literally a court order from a judge saying that the kids cannot film. They actually, at the time, so the kids had, filming was detrimental to the children's health because of what was going on with Colin and what was going on with Hannah. Well, then TLC fired her. And on December 19th, while in court, she actually admitted that TLC had terminated her contract. So since this has been announced, there's been sort of this tidal wave of reactions. Most people are thrilled that she is no longer going to be able to be on the show. People were naturally outraged about what Jon said about Colin, about how Kate put him in his place, didn't tell anyone. He was there for like diagnoses that didn't make sense, and basically that Kate didn't want to deal with him, so she shoved him away. Well, that didn't land well, obviously, and so fans have been taking to her Instagram, and it's interesting because Kate actually doesn't update Instagram, but it doesn't matter because people are still commenting on photos from weeks and weeks ago. People are saying things like this: I'm so glad those kids are not being allowed to be used anymore for money by Kate. Others are saying she needs jail time. You wouldn't love Colin, but okay. What about Colin and Hannah though? Jon words on his interview are that Colin was wrongly institutionalized, but we await Kate's response. Also in the letter from Colin to to his dad, he says not good things. The family hopefully can heal and become well and happy again. You used all of your children, and that's all to get all the attention you need. Money changed you, and TLC should get bad karma for wrecking families and all reality TV shows they create. TLC, please learn to stop when you think your reality show is not doing well for people. You are greedy as well. Look what you created, a greedy mom of 8. The too many Kates hopefully have put in their place in college. Karma is a B, Kate. Get a real job. Dust the nursing degree up. Looks like you'll have a 12-hour shift soon. Shouldn't your Instagram be Kate plus 6 or 4 since the girls left for college? Just saying. Kate is more obsessed with the paparazzi than they are with her kids. Pretty hilarious. You can clearly see that the poor children don't want to be filmed. Whoopi Goldberg saw right through you and exposed you to the world. And it was just so many of these comments. She actually thought she could treat her son like that and no one would care. It was never about you, Kate. You never cared about you. We never cared about you. We cared about your children and their well-being more than you did. You have no one but yourself to blame, and you deserve every bit of scorn and disgust people are heaping on you. Now you go start your life over like you forced Colin to do. I doubt you have the character to recover like he is going through. One day I hope you have the self-realization that you can repair some of the damage you have done. Finally, we won't be able to use your children for money. Happy trails to you. I mean, there are so many, like, finally free from mom from hell. I mean, get a job, boo. I mean, seriously, there were so many of these. It was unbelievable how many comments. And I mean, these are on photos that are literally weeks and weeks and weeks old. I mean, people are digging into her Instagram and commenting on photos that she posted 6 months ago and leaving these kinds of comments. I mean, it's everywhere. It's on Twitter. It's everywhere. Like, people are outraged. And naturally, Kate is just not saying anything, which people are also pointing out, like, hey, Kate, why aren't you responding to the allegations that were made by Jon? Hey, Kate, why don't you respond to the allegations about this? Hey, Kate, why aren't you saying anything? And people are sort of pointing out the hypocrisy about how when the narrative suits her and is beneficial and positive, she has no problem saying anything. But when she's the one that's being accused of doing things, she's like silent, like nothing happens. Like, and she's simply accusing Jon of like not telling the truth. I mean, she has said that she can't wait to tell her truth. But at the same time, what's your truth going to be, Kate? The court records here in this situation aren't going to really lie. And if there's so many people in your children's lives that are saying this is not good for them, and yet you continue to do it, it's you that becomes the problem, not everybody else. So after the termination by TLC, the judge sort of outlines all these different steps that she has to take if she's going to continue filming. Jon is then interviewed, I don't even remember if it was by the Daily Mail or some other outlet, maybe it was the Daily Mail, and he basically said that based on what happened in court, there's absolutely no way she will ever film again because she will have to go to court to get an order that approves the filming, and then Jon has to sign off on it. Jon will never approve for her to be filmed or have the kids filmed. Jon has been adamant that he wants the kids off TV and he does not want them filmed. He wants them to have a normal life like he did growing up, and he has been trying for years to get them off TV. Now with them off TV, Jon, I noticed on his Instagram, is so smiley. I mean, he is like so happy. He looks like the weight of the world has been lifted off of his shoulders. He is engaged to be married. That's him with his fiance, who's a nurse practitioner, obviously. And there they are with her 2 children, and then Hannah and Colin. They are humongous Eagles fans. Sadly, the Eagles lost, I think, in the playoffs. Sorry. Anyways, but Jon is like living his best life and doing what he needs to do. So it's kind of interesting to see how it all flips, right? Like, she was the one that made it seem like Jon was the bad guy in this situation and made it seem like Jon was the one that was doing all these bad things. But the funny thing is that no matter what happens, the truth will always prevail. And so even if someone has been dragged for a really long time and false information is spread about them, eventually all of the lies, all of the deceit, all of those mistruths will eventually come to head, and people will be able to see through that and see who's the one that's actually doing these things? Is it Jon or is it Kate? And I think for a long time what she was doing was probably projecting her own bad behavior onto Jon. Jon has been adamant that she has narcissistic personality disorder, and because of that thinks about no one but herself. He's also claimed that she has bipolar and doesn't take care of herself. I don't know if that's true, but if she is a narcissist, all of this would make sense. Projection and, belittling of other people while inflating your own self-worth is super common with narcissists. So it's kind of nice after all of these years to see the tables turn. And hopefully Jon's reputation will start to be improved. Hopefully the kids for the next 4 years will have a life where they can do things by themselves and not have everyone worrying about them. And hopefully Jon and Kate can just sort of like go away. I have a feeling like that's not what's going to happen. Kate seems so money hungry and so addicted to the limelight that I cannot see her not picking up a reality show with another network. And I don't know at this point in time if there's even a market for her based on everything that Jon has alleged about her. So I am not surprised to see people responding to her comments. I guess I wasn't surprised at all to hear all the things that people are saying. I think some people can be unnecessarily harsh at times in where they're directing their anger and such, but I also feel like when you put your life out for the world to see the way that she has, you welcome both positive and negative feedback, and criticism is a healthy part of development. And, being criticized is a good thing, especially if what you're doing is wrong. So I am really glad to see that she is being criticized openly, because so many people for so many years have been so supportive. And I don't know if she'll be able to come back from this. I really don't. I mean, it's hard to say. The world loves a comeback, right? But after we've learned what we have about Colin, I think it would be hard. So that's where we're at. Obviously, since this channel loves content related to Gosselin, I will absolutely do my best to continue to bring you stories as they come up. And Jon is still sharing. I heard he might be working on a book. So if he writes a book, I would be so on, let's read it together. Oh my God, you guys, we have to read this book. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think she's being dragged unnecessarily? Do you agree with what these people are saying? What are your thoughts about the kids no longer being on the show anymore? Please be mindful of the way that we talk about things in comments. No mention of ABUSE. Thank you guys. As well as, if you have not followed me yet on Instagram, will you please do? I have only 300 left to go until I hit 10,000 followers. And also, if you haven't followed my other social media, please do so by clicking on my links down there. Before you go, click subscribe down here and then ring the bell for notifications so you know when I go live. All right, you guys, I'll be back later with more.